Hey y'all, I'm Victoria Reese. I wanted to take you with me outside. This is one of my favorite times of the day. I'm out here in nature with a tree that I love, looking at amazing cherry blossom trees. Trying to ignore the skunk remains that are near me, but it's all good. Um, Anyhow, I wanted to share my week 12 coaching experience with you. I actually didn't get to complete it yet with my assigned lap buddy, but I did do this with a different coach buddy. And so I wanted to just kind of tell you a little bit about how we started this session off. So we both took a little bit of time to do some presencing and just get really grounded into our bodies. And the story that was behind the coaching session is a story kind of not of enough, or maybe too much. I guess it depends on how you look at it. So my coach buddy is a really young mom who has 2 young children, and she's got another one on the way. And so she herself is in the midst of trying to have a coaching business and manage 2 really young children with another one due in November. So the story is, can she do it all? And it's interesting because, that immediately was a mirror for me. I don't have young children, but I do have children, and I've asked myself that same question. So it was wonderful to try to stay in full grounding presence so that, and definitely, as we've talked about, connected fully to Source so that I was able to serve her best. And so, talking about some of the techniques, the going wide, this was really easy for me to get into with her. She was very much in her headspace, so initially there was a lot of clarifying questions that I asked to try to get this wide, big, panoramic view, of what's happening. And then from there, once I had a context, and I did some reflective questioning back to make sure I understood the story correctly, then we went back to her childhood so I could get a little bit of an understanding of where she is in the lineup with her siblings. And I don't know her that well, so I didn't feel it was appropriate to really go deep into this area because I was getting a lot of resistance. And she's basically doesn't sound like she has the support of her family or her husband's family. So this was definitely an area that I wanted to press into, but I didn't feel that there was enough alliance built to go deep into this. So it's something I'd like to circle back around for a future session. And then the going deep. So what are the needs? This was interesting because very early on in the coaching sessions, she had said that self-care was a need. And so what allowed us to go deeper into this area was helping her to move from her head space to her heart space. And the thing that really turned this around, I realized quickly, wasn't so much the questions, because the questions, while they were giving me this really awesome panoramic view, this wide, this deep, this high view, they were kind of, it felt intuitively like keeping her trapped in her headspace. And I knew from having a similar story that, and also knowing that she's a very high, analytical person, and I am too, that we could get lost, in this headspace, and it was very important to try to do some embodiment. So I asked her if she'd be willing to consider doing some embodiment. So she agreed, and I led her through like a meditation in a sense. So I asked her to find a safe place that she could go to, a place that she felt was a place that had given her strength and courage and hope, And then I asked her if she'd feel comfortable sharing that with me, and she did. So together we went on a journey to a beach that she frequents, and she was able to get into this really deep meditative state, and she was able to share it with me. She could share the way the waves were moving, the smell of the ocean, the way the sun was hitting her on her face, the strength that she was feeling coming up from the sand. And it was just a really beautiful experience, and it helped her to just ground into source, to ground into the energy from earth, and just to help her get back and find her center. So in doing so, she was able to really realize the importance of her moving forward, that this is her purpose, that she feels called to do coaching. And so even though there's this huge story, like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to do coaching? I can't watch the kids. I don't want to burden my husband with these extra things, and I don't have time, and I'm tired. And all those things are true. She was able to connect in at her soul level that this is her purpose. This is her calling. This is what gives her joy and strength, And so from this place, we were able to then sink further into this notion of, not even notion, this importance of self-care. So she was able to find out that self-care is paramount, that really has to be front and center, and that from that position of self-care, from that position of filling her tank, that she's going to then be able to move forward and serve her family better, herself better, her coaching community better, that almost all these things are possible from that position of self-love, self-care, self-fulfillment. So moving forward from this coaching session, we were able to create some action steps, and honestly, it wasn't anything like do this, this, and this. It was very simple for her and very profound. So she decided that she's going to spend a certain amount of time each day going back in meditation to this beach, where she's then going to connect into divinity and source and going to pull the strength that she needs. It's going to be a way to refill herself. And she's going to do this every day. She's going to start this out first thing in the morning, and she's just going to wait and see what kind of download she gets from God, from source. And she's going to move forward from there. And she realized also, too, that she's going to pencil in a time to sit down with her husband and just reiterate the importance of this life calling that she has. And the hope is, between the meditation, building that muscle up, that the self-care is going to increase, the dialoguing with her husband, and really communicating the importance of this for her, that she's going to find the next step to move forward. And, we'll circle back around on the next coaching session. So that was my experience. And then as far as my AP experience, so I also was coached today, not by my technical AP person, but we're doing that tomorrow, so maybe this will be another video tomorrow. Yeah, I was able to have a similar experience of going really wide. I did not know this coaching buddy very well, so but I just felt by the tone that was created, there was a certain presencing that I was able to fall into resonance really quickly, where I felt very safe to be receptive to the clarifying questions that allowed me to go wide. And from that place of going wide, we were able to go on to the next level. Now, my story was that I wanted to consciously create a deeper connection to a girlfriend that I have. that I've made these kind of conscious connections with my husband, with my children, and that I have this really good friend of 3 years, and that I thought together consciously, we could manifest the kind of friendship that we want to have. So I don't know if you call that my story. I think the story was more, I can't even say we actually got to the story, but that's what I came into the coaching session with. And through going wide and going deep, and just being held in that container, in that space, I was able to feel that same connection that I feel to my husband, to my children, to this friend. And I was able to feel that in order to have that same kind of conscious connection with this friend of mine on a deeper level, that it's really just a matter of stepping into this intention. But it's a matter of just setting that intention that that's what I want, getting into a state of alignment myself, and moving forward with that. So, yeah, that's what was uncovered, that the answer was already inside of me. It's really just a matter of setting the intention, stepping into that alignment, and moving forward. Yeah, so that was my experience. Thank you for letting me share that with you. I'd also like to turn the camera and let you guys see the beautiful cherry blossoms that are in my area, if I can do this. And maybe I can't. Okay, looks like not today, but let me just turn the whole camera, get a quick view. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening.